Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is Jorge Esperanza.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back.
I'm excited about today's show, Londa. I'm actually David Austin, if you don't know. I'm excited about this show because I thought when you left the house this morning, you looked like $1 million.
Well, thank you.
Super excited about your John Lennon shirt, which you bought at a boutique, and your really, really nice looking jacket. Love it.
Thank you.
And I'm also
Very
excited
much.
because the last time I wore this shirt, it was super tight, and now it's a little blousey.
Look at you.
I like that.
It's a beautiful spring day in southeastern Washington
Yes,
State.
it is. Yes, it is.
I wish you were all here with us because it's the high today is supposed to be 74 degrees. The sun is shining. I can't wait to get our work done and get the hell out of this office.
That's exactly right. It's supposed to be rainy and cold the next 3 days. So
Today's the day, man.
feels like summer.
So, of course, we found, because we want to go play this afternoon, just before recording this, we found the unicorn property we've been looking for a client.
Right.
So now we have a showing
can't
this
go play.
afternoon and can't go play.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Hey, I would rather, this is absolutely a unicorn. Meaning this is an almost impossible property to find, and we think we may have found it. And so I would rather get that locked down for our client, excuse me, than to go play.
Okay. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
And this particular client is a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
So it'll be as though we are playing
Yeah,
outside in the beautiful weather.
She's one of a group of sisters
Right.
that all use us and love us, and we love them too, like our own kids. And
Right.
so it's very, very fun.
I'm excited to spend some time with her and go look at this property today.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
very
them.
cool.
Maybe she'll grab one of the sisters and have her come too. I don't know.
Probably.
That'd be fun.
Well, I don't know. One of them is in the middle of a huge remodel
Oh, I
of
gotcha.
the house. So I don't know. Anyway, whatever the case, welcome in.
Welcome into the show. It's going to be a great big program today, and we're going to try to do it a little quicker than normal because we
Yeah.
have a lot of stuff to get through today.
Yeah.
The first thing that I want to talk about on this show is the cost of goods and services. You know, we talk about inflation a lot, and the federal government loves to give us numbers about inflation and say it's not really as bad as you know, you may think. You know, the reports go
Yeah,
anywhere.
but they're not buying my groceries.
That's exactly right. The reports go anywhere from, 3.2 to just over 3.5 rate of inflation, right? And that sounds like it's not so bad until you think last year at this time we were up 11%. So you add to that
Right.
the new 3 point whatever it is percent, and now we're 14, 15% higher than we were a year and a month ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that is substantial inflation. We were criticized on one of our clips that we used to promote the show on social media.
We were trolled a little bit.
For talking like we were, the person said, these are rich people problems. We're having trouble buying groceries. That's exactly what we are talking about.
It was one clip and then taken out of context because we said we travel a lot. Well, yeah, we travel a lot because we have to for work.
Right.
You know
That's
what?
exactly right.
That kind of stuff, online trolls, and then they, it was the kind of trolling where they had like blocked us from replying.
Right.
So, I mean, piss off. That's what I think about that. We're doing our thing, and I don't care what other people think.
I love it, though, when people are critical of us because it gives me a fire that I didn't have the day before.
Yeah, well, thanks for the interaction, right? The haters increase the interaction and then bump you in the algorithm. So great.
A
Thank you
hater's
for
going to
that.
hate and a player's going to play.
There you're going to go.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Okay. There you go.
Anyway, so talking about the price of things getting higher, that's an unpopular conversation in an election year, which this is.
Well, it's an unpopular conversation in the news, but it's not an unpopular conversation in the real world because we're having these conversations with the people that we know and love and spend time with every single day. Not only our clients that we help buy and sell real estate with,
Right.
but our friends and family. We're like, shit, things are expensive.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. I was talking with our daughter-in-law the other day about groceries, and I sent her this TikTok. She loves to thrift, as do I. And I sent her this TikTok, and it was this funny TikTok about thrifty, when you're thinking about having to buy groceries or thrifting. And then it was this like the crying background where she's like putting like the things that she thrifted into the refrigerator, or like she's putting like this item that she thrifted, like pretending she's putting it into her gas tank. Like, it was just funny, right? But that's really, I mean, I've been shopping recently. Like, I haven't done a big clothing shop, shoe shop. I kind of go in spurts, right? And I haven't done one for a while. And so, I wear my shoes out really badly, quickly, and I'm hard on them. And so I have to replace my shoes every 3 to 5 years.
Sure.
Like, they all just have to be replaced. It's just how it goes. But damn, there's like, A, the selection in stores is terrible.
Okay.
B, the prices are crazy.
Sure.
Crazy. Shoes is one of the things I will not thrift, right? So I'll thrift clothes. I don't mind doing that. But I will not thrift shoes.
I'm not a big thrifter, period.
I know you're not. And that's fine. That's why when you go out of town on business, I grab my girls and go thrifting.
Okay, that's fair.
You don't have to worry about what I'm doing while you're gone. I'm scouring Goodwill. Like, I'm such a nerd. But I love it. And I just, man, I can't pay retail anymore.
Right.
It's killing me.
I was at a thrift store, and I don't know what I was doing there, and you might have been there with me, and that could be what I was doing there. And I saw something on the shelf that looked like regular retail pricing. I don't remember where we were or why I was there, but I remember seeing something.
So thrift stores have also increased their prices over the last couple of years. It's true. And there was a big hubbub about it maybe a year or so ago in social media where people were like, Goodwill, you're losing your mind. And they were showing prices and stuff. But I mean, inflation, right? Inflation affects everyone, everything, everywhere, all the time. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And we just do what we can. I'm really grateful for the years that when my kids were little and we were poor and I thought we had no money, and I had to be super, super, super thrifty, you know, and I had to be very calculated about my money. I know how to do without. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm really glad for those years, because when the pinch hits us, because of the economy financially, I pivot very quickly and easily. Like, I know how to give up my luxuries. I know how to tighten the belt. I know how to save. I could pinch a penny like nobody's business. And so
and I find that very attractive.
Yeah, well, I'm a saver and not a spender.
And I also like how we can have no food in the house at all. I can look in the fridge and see some baking soda in the freezer and a dirty penny behind the washing machine. And all of a sudden, there's a beautiful souffle presented for dinner. I don't know how you do that, but you're like a magician, maybe a witch. I don't know how you do it. How do you do that?
It came out of necessity, right? When the kids were little and we didn't have any money, and this was, for context, we were married to other people when we raised our kids, and so we were poor as shit. And there were times, there would be times that people would say, "Oh my gosh, you look so good. Are you losing weight?" And I would be like, "Yeah. What are you doing?" "Oh, I don't know, just
hungry,
whatever."
Just hungry.
And really, that's what it was. Like, I'm feeding my kids is what I'm doing instead of eating. And
right.
It's that kind of thing where I had to scrape, and I went through the grocery store with a calculator and I shopped the weekly ads and built my menus around what was on sale. And, I made everything from scratch. There's nothing I don't know how to cook. And that's something we were talking about earlier. If you don't know how to cook, first of all, there's no excuse, because there's so many tutorials readily available, YouTube and such. But also, it's just very economical, and you can make anything that you want to make. Absolutely anything.
It's really interesting that you say that about you can make anything you want. You know, when I was a kid growing up, my mother used to say, if you can read, you can make anything. That's not true anymore. If you have access to YouTube in your kitchen, you can make anything. You know, we have one of those Alexa shows in our kitchen, and it sits next to the stove. I can tell it what I want to make and watch a video in real time and make it along with the video. It's the craziest thing in the world where technology has gone.
I have to tell you, though, some of my best memories over my lifetime have been created while preparing a meal and sharing a meal with someone that I care about. I just did that yesterday. My very best girlfriend, Natalie, we were supposed to get together for lunch yesterday, but I had accidentally double booked. You and I had a lunch appointment.
Right.
So I got with her after lunch. I said, hey, where are you? What are you doing? And she's like, we decided to get together she said, well, I need to, let's get together, but I need to grab some food. I said, just come to the house. I'll cook for you. So she sat on the other side of the kitchen counter and the bar stool. And while I cooked and we talked, and, you know, there's something very communal about that. And there's something, I love people through food in a way, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's the loveliest thing to put my heart and my soul into creating food that I know the person who is going to eat it will love.
Sure.
And then sharing that with them. There's I don't know, there's nothing like it. I get a lot of satisfaction from that. We had a barbecue at our kids' house last weekend, and I made a couple of dishes I knew for damn sure the kids were going to love.
Sure.
And they all raved about it. In fact, one of them texted me after the person who hosted was so busy entertaining, they didn't get dessert until after everybody had left. He texted me later and said, oh my God, this cake is amazing. And so that, I love that. I feel I kind of give and receive love that way.
Yes. I love that about you. You know what I mean? I'm not a big food person. I'm a kind of a mono eater and can eat anything, but you still find a way with every single meal to make me feel special. And I don't know how you're doing it, because we are eating pretty clean, but you still make me feel.
I'll give you some tricks here. And I know somebody is going to hear this and it's going to just click for them. But I love figuring out what you love. Like there's certain flavor profiles that you really like. And I've figured out how to hit that, the texture profile and the flavor profile and the presentation profile for just about every meal.
Yeah.
And put it in front of you. And it's like a puzzle that I have to figure out.
And I love it.
I freaking love it.
I love the way you do that.
It's the same way in like finding like this unicorn property for this client of ours. It's the same kind of thing where this doesn't exist and I have to find it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
That's cool.
It's the same.
It's like being a private detective.
Kind of.
You investigate people and their needs, and then you can solve the mystery.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And having a meal that you love is very satisfying. It's very, satiating, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they say, well, I'm telling you, I remember reading in a book, I think it was a book written by Dr. Oz, if you remember that guy.
I do.
And
he ran for Congress.
He did.
Or the Senate, the U.S. Senate.
Something.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book. He's written several kind of medical books, right? And I remember reading one, and I think it was called You, the Patient.
Okay.
And I've studied health and nutrition as a hobby my whole life. It's just something that if I could do life over again, I might have been a doctor, honestly.
Well, it's not too late. If that's something you really want to do, that's a possibility.
It is too late for me. I don't want to work that hard anymore. But so but I love studying it. So I was reading this book by Dr. Oz years and years ago called You, the Patient.
Okay.
And he talked about how you have to be your own best advocate for your health care. It's a different mindset than previous generations where the doctor is God and you don't question them and you just do what the doctor says to do. This was kind of a shift in that mindset, maybe in the early 2000s is when it was published, about no, you need to ask questions. You need to do research. You need to be your own best advocate. So along with that, some of what he talked about in the book was like diet and that kind of thing and how food affects you. So he talked about how food hits the same satiation glands that sex does.
Okay, now.
There you go. Do with that information what you will.
Except combining the two never works. Sex and food don't go together.
I don't think so, but some people do.
And I don't get it. I don't get that though. We all saw 9.5 Weeks in the
if you're our age
in the
group,
early 90s, right? Kim Basinger and
I don't know.
You know who I'm talking about? Yep. The guy who went on to play the boxer, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke, that's his name, right? Whatever the case. We all saw that movie.
Yeah.
And they did the strawberries and the cream and all that stuff. And we all tried it. And I got to tell you,
bad. Body
hair and whipped cream don't go together. They just don't. There's no place for that. I'm sorry, enthusiasts of that type of thing. That is not a food experience that I revel in. No, thank you.
Speaking of food and sex, I'll give you the restaurant review nobody asked to hear right now. So I went to, stick with me. I went to a little drive-through coffee shop called Wake Up Call.
Okay.
Near my work.
Okay.
That's all the description I'm going to give.
Okay.
And it was about 7:30 in the morning, I think, maybe 8:30, I don't know, pretty early. And I pulled up to the drive-through and they're open, but like nobody was there.
Okay.
There was no cars ahead of me nor behind me, so I'm the only one. So pull right up to the
7:30 in the morning.
Pull right up to the window.
Okay.
Sit there. Tick tock, tick tock. I'm thinking this is going to be my new spot because it's literally around the corner from my office.
Sure.
Like they're all about to have a pay raise.
Nothing.
I wait. I'm thinking this is getting a little awkward now. I'm not really sure. Just as I'm about to pull away, I see two people, a female and a male, roughly similar age, come out from the back, and I kid you not, straightening their clothes.
Oh.
Smoothing the hair.
Ooh.
Can I help you? Yeah, can I get short, hot Americano with just the tiniest splash of cream? Okay, that'll be X number of dollars, whatever. I wanted to tell them, like, you guys...
Zip up, buddy.
You guys, you got to do a better job of hiding it because you're not doing a good job. Okay, so they give me my cup, right? I get to the office. I open it up, and it's a freaking latte. The reason I want a whisper of cream is because
you don't want the cream.
I have a sensitive tongue.
A little tum-tum.
So I need just a little bit of cream. I can't have a lot of it. A latte? Please. No, gross. So they were so discombobulated. They made the wrong drink and everything. So...
And you were the only one there. It's not like there were a line of cars and they gave you the wrong drink. No other person was there.
No.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
I'm just saying, I don't know what was going on, but it seemed a little awkward.
Come on, Brittany and Chad, calm it down. Make my drink correctly. I'm not looking for the after love latte.
Right.
I'm looking for an Americano with a whisper of cream.
Yeah. And I'd love to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, well, maybe it was something else. It wasn't.
Wow.
It wasn't. I was a teenager. I raised 7 teenagers.
Right.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that I just got caught fixing my clothes thing is rough.
Oof.
Rough.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the the retail retail sales experience I want to talk about is I don't want to throw this company under the bus at all. I really don't because I've given them a stellar review previously.
Okay.
So all I'm going to say is be 5 stars through the whole process, not just the upfront.
Okay, not
just the front
I know
end.
what you're talking about. We don't want to defame anybody.
Right.
When you're dealing with timelines, and often in retail, the timelines are beyond your control. Often. right? Yeah. And it's been frustrating in several experiences to go into some kind of store and have them say, hey, this should be here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll call you as soon as it comes in.
Right.
And not hear from them again for another 3 or 4 weeks. We've all had that happen.
Yep.
Here's how you avoid setting up that disappointment.
This is the important part.
What you say is, you know what, pre-COVID, they were pretty dependable and we could get our stuff turned around in a week and a half to 2 weeks almost every single time. However, since then, with the breakdown in the supply chain that happened during COVID, it's kind of hit or miss. So I'll tell you the time frames on this type of product range from 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Is that okay?
That would be spectacular.
And sometimes someone's going to say 4 weeks is not okay, and I'm going to make other arrangements. But at least I'm not furious because you tricked me by telling me 2 weeks.
Right.
And now it's 4 weeks, and it looks like a fifth week is going to pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you manage the expectations and then end it with, is that okay?
Yeah. Is that going to work for you?
And if you do that, then when it takes 4 weeks, the client isn't furious.
And here's the other thing that I would say. I just taught a class yesterday on the fortunes in the follow-up, and here's how you follow up, and here's how you set the calendar to follow up, and why it's so important to keep the relationship going. And so it's kind of fresh in my mind. When you listen, always under promise and over deliver.
Right. That's right.
Always under promise and over deliver. And when there's a delay or when there's a bump in the road, 100% of the time, y'all pick up the phone and call.
Yes.
I don't want a text update. I don't want to. Yeah.
And one thing you can ask your customer is, how would you like for me to communicate with you for your liking? What would be the best way for me to communicate with you? And some people may say, oh, I just want to text. I don't want to talk.
Sure. That's a good
point. And in that case, you then text them.
Yeah.
But if you don't ask that question and you just text people, I find that insensitive. Yeah. And you know, we're all in customer service. Any sales capacity job truly is customer service, and you want to give people white glove service. You want people to feel cared for, right?
Absolutely.
And the only way you're going to 100% of the time make people feel cared for is by asking them questions, listening to them, and responding in the way appropriate after getting the information.
Right.
So, yes, ask people, how would you prefer to be communicated with? You know, I have customers who love calling, and I say, call me anytime. If I don't get it right away, I will call you back within the hour, and that's because I'm in an appointment-driven business, and I may be in an appointment when they call.
Yeah.
Right? But always call back. Always follow through. So, small promises, and then under promise, over deliver.
I do it even in the simplest way. This is a good way to practice that. If you're new to the concept of under promise, over deliver, here's an easy way to practice it. When you're running late, if you think you're going to be 5 minutes late, tell them you're going to be 10 minutes late.
Right.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. And then when I arrive 5 minutes before they thought I would, I'm a hero.
Right.
So, you know.
And try not to be late.
Well, yeah, try not to be late, but you know, some of us have bad habits.
Right.
All right, let's take a look at the market in Tri-Cities, Washington. And here's what I want to look at. We've noticed something in the last week or so. So our two areas of the market that have moved super fast recently over the last month or two have been the over $1 million mark and first-time home buyers.
Right.
And that mid-range has just kind of been lethargic a little bit.
And it makes sense to me because a lot of people bought recreationally when interest rates were in the threes.
Sure.
And have a house that they think's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So
they're going to sit tight.
You've got a low payment and you're in a house that you like because you bought it during COVID when you found out that you couldn't stand the house you were in because you were there 40 hours a week plus.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of somewhere else 40 hours a week and then coming home at night. So I get it that the middle of the market isn't really trying to get out.
Right. So this is what we've seen.
Yeah.
When the last week, here's the shift I've noticed.
Yes.
That over $1 million that's been moving like this.
Yes. So luxury slowing down.
it's almost come to a standstill.
And I've seen no change in first-time home buyers. They are
if you've got a listing
shaking.
under 400, you've got gold in your hands. So I want to look at, just as evidence, I haven't looked at this before we're live right now, but there's this little area right here on our system that shows price changes, and I'm just curious what that looks like. So what this is going to do, yep, that's what I thought. You see all those red arrows?
Right. Where one house had a 409, are those the price drops, or is that
price drops? Price change.
But that is the new price. That's not how much it's changed.
Right. No, that's the new price. So we've got one that went up, the rest down, 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 down.
And the one that went up is pending appraisal. So I don't understand that.
There was it probably came on the market at a really good price point. There was a little bit of a bidding war, and it maybe was, went under contract really quickly. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm trying to figure stuff out here. No, it went under contract yesterday. The closing date's June 17th. They must have waived inspection for some reason, or maybe inspection's already done. I don't really know. I can't tell you, but what I can tell you, this is what I wanted to show you, is this trend of dropping prices. So
sure.
I find that interesting because even though we're still very low on inventory in the market, we're definitely seeing a little bit of a shift, and I'm not sure what to think of that.
Okay. I don't know either. What I can tell you is I understand that some houses are coming down because people were aggressively pricing houses when the market was clipping along. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of houses had overestimated price tags.
That's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? And good thing you've been taught since you were a little kid, don't cash checks before you have them. Don't cash checks in your mind before you have them, because people who listed their houses, say, for $600,000 and now they're coming down off that price, and now they're around $550.
Right.
It would have sold if you started at $550 quickly.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what I'd say about that is, if you're a consumer, man, really lean into your real estate agent, interview a few of them.
Sure.
And hire the one who, not only you like, you won't be afraid to run into them in the grocery store, but honestly, the one that comes with a good amount of art and science.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
You need somebody who's kind of the nerd and studies the numbers and knows the numbers, but you also need somebody who's creative enough to get done what you need to get done.
Correct.
And so I don't mean to toot our horn, but I think we're the perfect blend of that.
SherwoodAustinHomes.com is where you can go right now to look at houses that are on the market, to find out what your house is worth. SherwoodAustinHomes.com will tell you all about your current home value. It'll tell you a little bit about us. That picture of me is a little heavier than I am right now, though.
Someone told me the other day I needed a new picture here because I look older, but that also the light, that I think they did something weird to that.
That's a filter. That's not what that original picture looks like at all.
No, it looks like I put an age filter on there.
It's not representative, and me
Weird.
Either, really. Why does my skin look so sun
Anyway,
damaged?
you can go on here and you can choose one of our communities, if you like, nearby, and check out what's going on. You can, like you said, get your home value. There's a mortgage calculator.
Sure.
There's all kinds of information. And because I know we have a lot of realtors that listen to this podcast, you could find out about joining our company. Absolutely. We'd love to. We're growing. We're expanding. I'm very excited, actually. We have a lot of expansion in process.
Right. I'm glad we're not hearing the construction that's going on in the room next door right now.
Yeah. So there's a lot to offer here at this company, and I'm the one you want to talk to if you're interested in finding out more information. We're very transparent. Everybody knows what our fees are, what our fee structure is as a company, because it's the same for everybody. We don't make special deals for people. We want everybody to be on the same playing field.
Right. Level playing
field. So that everyone has an equal opportunity to be successful, whatever successful looks like to them.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know why I'm starting the music to hang up the show, to wrap her up.
Well, let's wrap her up.
It's been 30 minutes or so, and I think we've talked about a lot of stuff in a very little amount of time. I don't think we can improve upon it, is what I'm here to tell you.
We definitely have. Yeah, it was a great show. I was really happy to be here with you today.
I was thrilled to be here with you today, too, and I cannot wait. We have a showing in a couple hours. You get to eat now because you've been doing this weird intermittent fasting. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. All I know is...
It's to help balance my hormones. We don't want to get into that.
Oh, okay. Well, now that makes more sense, because if it's for dietary reasons, you don't need a diet, sweetheart.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it, and there it is. For Londa, Joanne, Sherwood Austin, the prettiest girl in the world, my name is David Austin, and this has been another edition of The Session with Londa and David. We will see you again right here next week.